The feuds you weren't supposed to notice. What really happens behind the "we're like family" image? There's a version of K-pop you're allowed to see. Perfectly synchronized performances, matching outfits, idols who smile and say, "We're like family." And then there's the version you're not supposed to notice. The arguments that happened backstage, the friendships that quietly disappeared, the tensions so intense, staff considered canceling a stage. None of this comes from blind items. None of it comes from fan rumors. It comes from interviews, broadcast footage, and things idols admitted years later, when enough time had passed for honesty to feel safe. By the end of this video, you won't just understand these conflicts. You'll understand why some groups didn't explode publicly. They just stopped being close. If you love K-pop and you like looking beyond headlines, you're exactly who this channel is for. If this kind of content matters to you, take a second to like the video, and tell me in the comments which group we should examine next. Now let's start with one of the most misunderstood conflicts in K-pop history. To understand Bobby versus RM, you have to go back to 2014. K-pop was changing. Hip-hop wasn't underground anymore. It was becoming mainstream. And suddenly, idol rappers weren't filler positions. They were competing for legitimacy. At the same time, Korea's underground hip-hop scene openly criticized idol groups. Manufactured, fake, assigned rap positions. It wasn't subtle, it was hostile. And right in the middle of that tension stood two young men who symbolized opposite philosophies. When Bobby joined Show Me the Money 3, he didn't just participate, he dominated. He was aggressive, confident, unapologetic. He distanced himself from idol culture on purpose. In multiple interviews during and after the show, he emphasized something that would echo for years. Many idol rappers didn't live hip-hop. Rap was often just a role assigned within a group. Now here's the important detail. He did not name RM. He did not name BTS. He did not call anyone out directly. But timing matters. At that exact moment, media narratives were elevating RM as the intellectual idol rapper, the thoughtful exception, the one with underground credibility. Fans filled in the blanks Bobby never explicitly wrote, and once fans create a storyline, it becomes very hard to undo. RM's response, or lack of one. Here's what makes this interesting. RM never responded directly. No diss track, no confrontation, no interview rebuttal. Instead, in separate interviews, he said things like, "Hip-hop doesn't belong to one type of person. It's about honesty, not labels. I don't think proving yourself means denying where you come from." To casual viewers, these sounded philosophical. To fans already bracing for conflict, they sounded like rebuttals. And that's when something dangerous happened. The conflict stopped being about Bobby and RM. It became about ideology. Bobby symbolized authenticity through rejecting idol systems. RM symbolized authenticity within idol systems. Both were arguing for legitimacy. Neither attacked the other, but fandom culture turned nuance into war. From 2015 to 2016, every Bobby lyric was dissected. Every RM verse was analyzed. Every metaphor about fake rappers was treated as a coded message. Industry insiders later pointed out something crucial. Neither artist changed their lyrical themes during this period. Nothing escalated, only perception did. Why the fire eventually died. By 2017, Bobby's tone shifted. He emphasized teamwork, growth, responsibility as an idol. RM evolved too. He spoke openly about insecurity, pressure, the limits of idol life. The battlefield disappeared because neither side was standing on it anymore. Today, no public tension, no avoidance, no lingering shade. This wasn't Bobby versus RM, it was idol culture versus hip-hop purism. and fans needed someone to pick a side. This one wasn't loud. There were no diss tracks, no public screaming matches. It involved imbalance, when one member became the brand. By 2009, G-Dragon was producing the majority of Big Bang's music. Executives referred to him as the core. Media framed the group as G-Dragon and the others. At first, it looked like success, but structurally, it created pressure. In interviews, G-Dragon repeatedly said, "If the song fails, it's my responsibility." Leadership slowly turned into emotional isolation. Other members were boxed into fixed roles. Taeyeon, vocalist; Daesung, variety support; T.O.P., rapper and actor; Seungri, entertainer and businessman. When one person becomes the creative spine of a group, something shifts. Not resentment. Wait. G-Dragon and T.O.P., the silence. They were best friends before debut, but after 2015, something changed. Fewer joint appearances, less visible interaction. When T.O.P. faced his 2017 crisis, G-Dragon said nothing publicly. T.O.P. later admitted, "I don't feel like I belong in the idol world anymore." Industry speculation suggests two possibilities. T.O.P. wanted distance from idol structure. G-Dragon was left protecting the group's legacy alone. No shouting match, no statement, just quiet disengagement. Today, T.O.P. has explicitly stated he is done with Big Bang. G-Dragon hasn't contradicted him. Sometimes the loudest fracture is silence. The point of no return. Seungri. When the Burning Sun scandal exploded, G-Dragon removed public association immediately. No defense, no wait for the truth, no farewell message. That silence was not neutral, it was severance. Industry consensus is simple. This wasn't disappointment, it was protection. Some lines, once crossed, end everything. SHINee, Key versus Minho. This wasn't scandal, this was personality collision. From debut, Minho was hyper-competitive, intense, structured. Key was sharp, sarcastic, observant. Members openly confirmed. They clashed from the start. Not scripted, not exaggerated. They argued over dialect, over memory, over games, on camera. It looked funny, but it was real irritation. Why didn't it explode? Because SHINee had a culture of immediate confrontation. Nothing was buried. Key once admitted, "If we don't fight, something's wrong." After 2017, the tone shifted. Not because they stopped clashing, but because loss changes perspective. Their rivalry survived because it was honest, not cruel. 4. Taeyeon versus Tiffany, the night it almost broke. This one was different, because it nearly ended something. At SNSD peak in Japan, Taeyeon and Tiffany were constantly paired. Duets, shared lines, joint promotions. Exhaustion built quietly. Taeyeon internalized stress. Tiffany processed stress outwardly. That difference became combustible on tour. And then it happened. Backstage, before a duet. They screamed at each other. Staff reportedly considered canceling the stage. This wasn't rumor. They admitted it years later. Why did it escalate? Years of pressure. No emotional release. Two people breaking in opposite directions. And then they still had to walk on stage and sing flawlessly. The duet happened, but afterward, something had to change. They talked, they cried, they reset boundaries. Today, they speak about it openly. The screaming match didn't destroy the friendship, it saved it. The pattern across all these conflicts. None of these were cartoon villain stories. They were about pressure, imbalance, silence, expectation. K-pop doesn't break idols through hatred, it breaks them through structure, through being the brand, through carrying too much, through through never being allowed to crack publicly. Some relationships fracture quietly, some explode. Some survive because they're allowed to be messy. And the most dangerous conflicts? The ones no one is allowed to talk about. Because when the image is perfection, honesty feels like betrayal. If this video gave you a new perspective, take a second to like it, and tell me below, which feud surprised you the most? And which group should we examine next? Because sometimes the most important stories in K-pop are the ones that were never meant to be told.